You finally meet someone who treats you well. They're consistent, they don't disappear. They say what they mean. And something about it feels off. Not wrong, just off, like wearing someone else's clothes, like a silence that's too quiet. And instead of staying, you pull away, you get bored. You start noticing their flaws. You convince yourself they're too nice. Too nice. That's what we call someone who doesn't hurt us. That should stop you cold. Because if it does, this video is for you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between love and familiarity. It only knows what it was trained on. And for a lot of us, love was trained on chaos, on waiting, on proving, on almost. When you were young, love came with conditions, with silence, with tension, with the question, am I enough right now? And your brain did what brains do. It adapted. It mapped love to that feeling. The anxious feeling, the uncertain feeling, the I need to earn this feeling. So now, when someone just gives it to you freely, your brain flags it as wrong. Not dangerous, not abusive. Just wrong, unfamiliar, suspicious. That's not a character flaw. It's not because you love drama. It's because your nervous system learned to call pain home. You revisit your pain on purpose. You play the sad song again. You scroll back through the old messages. You sit alone on a Sunday and let it all sink back in. Not because you're stuck, because it feels like control. When you choose to feel the pain, it's no longer something happening to you. It's something you're doing. Sadness you control is safer than joy you might lose. Sounds small. It's not. Stability reads as boring. Anxiety reads as passion. The person who texts back instantly, you lose interest. The person who leaves you on read for 2 days, you can't stop thinking about them. This isn't preference. This is your threat response dressed up as attraction. Your body reacts to unpredictability like it matters, like it means something, like you need to pay attention. You're not chasing love. You're chasing the relief of finally getting it from someone who keeps taking it away. You start sabotaging when things get good. The relationship is going well, no fights, no red flags, no reason to leave. So you start a fight, or you go cold, or you just disappear emotionally. Why? Because waiting for something to go wrong is exhausting, so you make it happen yourself. At least then you're prepared. At least then it's on your terms. The problem isn't that you don't want love. The problem is that peace feels like the calm before the storm. So you create the storm first. You feel more yourself in isolation than in intimacy. You're great at being alone. You know yourself. You're comfortable. You have routines that work. But let someone in too close and something tightens. You feel watched, judged, suffocated, even when they're not doing anything wrong. Isolation became your safe house. You built walls and called it independence. And that's the problem. Here's what no one tells you. You don't actually want chaos. You want to feel something you can trust. The reason painful relationships feel more real isn't because they are more real. It's because they're more familiar. Familiarity is the most powerful feeling in the human brain. More powerful than logic. More powerful than self-awareness. Sometimes more powerful than survival instinct. That's why people return to what hurts them. Not because they enjoy the pain, because the pain is known. And here's the part that's hard to sit with. Healthy love doesn't feel wrong because it's wrong. It feels wrong because you've never let it stay long enough to become familiar. You cut it off at the unfamiliar part, right before it could become home. Stop for a second. Think about the last person who was genuinely good to you. Not perfect, just consistent, present, safe. What did you do? Did you test them? Did you pick them apart? Did you convince yourself you weren't ready? Here's the question you actually need to ask yourself. Not, why do I keep attracting the wrong people? But why do I keep leaving the right ones? That's a different question, a much harder one, because it stops making other people the problem. And it starts making you the pattern, not a broken pattern, not a permanent one, just a learned one. And learned things can be unlearned, slowly, uncomfortably, imperfectly, but they can. There's no clean ending here. No moment where it all clicks and suddenly peace feels easy. What actually happens is quieter than that. You start noticing the pull toward chaos before you follow it. You start sitting with the discomfort of someone being kind to you without pushing them away. Not because it's comfortable, because you understand now why it isn't. The goal isn't to stop feeling the pull toward pain. The goal is to stop calling it love, because it isn't. It never was. It was just the first thing that ever felt like home, and you've been homesick ever since.